All right, so we're going to take a look at part B and C from question 5 from the week 3 assignment. And specifically the question that was brought up by the student. We'll notice on part B was mentioned that they got a weird solution when they tried to use actually the correct approach. So let's just set this up. I agree that we would be using a binomial PDF. Wasn't really mentioned, but that's assumed. So let's go to second vars and go down to binomial PDF. We'll be using binomial PDF. And in this case, for this student's problem, we have 6 questions. 6 questions. And for everyone, it's the same. There's 4 choices, so the probability of getting it correct is 0.25. And we want, on part B, to have all the questions right. So that's saying that we want this value that we're about to put in as 6, because we want the probability of getting it right is 0.25. We want all of them right. So that's x equals 6. And she mentioned that she got a weird solution. This is kind of weird. And this is a good lesson. This is a great problem. I'm glad I'm going over this. We saw this before, actually, in the binomial distribution using your TI graphing calculator, the main video in the course. They show this, but it's good to see it again, this notation. But let's look at it. We have, for part B, we have the solution, at least using n equals 6. We have 2.4414 ... I mean, the other values don't really make much of a difference. And we have e -4. This is scientific notation with calculator. This is calculator notation of scientific notation. This means 2.4414, and forget about the dots, times 10 to the -4th power. That's what e to the -4 means. The -4 represents the exponent in scientific notation. So, quick little reminder how to convert this back into numeric form, like regular number form. We use that -4. That means moving the decimal to the left 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a decimal. I'm just doing it here. So we'll have a 0, 0, 0. So we'll have the decimal. So I'll put 0 dot. Okay, after the decimal, there's 3 zeros. And then there's 2, 4, 4, 1, 4. Okay, and the question asks round to 4 decimal places. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're the 4 after it, so we're rounding down. So this just goes away, and there's our solution. Okay, that's scientific notation. There's also the second part of the question with about part C. She gets at least 1 question right. So how you do this is, I'm just reading through the problem, what you mentioned. I input 6 for number of trials. That's correct. So n equals 6. I agree with that. It's still 6. P is equal to 0.25. I agree with that. And 5 for the x as being the probability that she gets 5 wrong or at least 1 right. No. Remember, your x value has to represent the number of, since p represents the probability of getting 1 correct, x has to represent the number of correct you get. So I mentioned in a previous video that, I mean, I hinted at it at least. So, well, anyways, she gets at least 1 question right. So that is the probability that x is greater than or equal to 1. That's our x values that we're interested in. At least 1 is greater than or equal to 1. So that's what we want to look for. And so what this is equal to is the 1 minus, so x greater than or equal to 1 is 1 minus the probability that x is equal to 0. So greater than or equal to 1, the only number that doesn't include is 0, because the for binomial distribution, you could have possible x values of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, representing the number of correct. And if you want greater than or equal to 1, the only thing that's not included in that is x equals 0. So taking 1 minus that value that's not included gives you your result. So you want to find this. And just this portion right here, you're going to be using a binomial, you may know this already, but binomial PDF, and you'll be using x equals 0. So anyways, that's what you'll be doing. And let me know if you have any concerns. Remember, you're doing 1 minus where x equals 0, so you'll that's what you'll want to do. Remember to do the 1 minus to get your result. Let me know if you have any other concerns.